And good morning, everyone. My name is Mary Ennis, and I'm the Outreach Coordinator for Seniors NL. Welcome to this week's Let's Talk About, and today we'll be talking about a topic of interest to many of us, old school intergenerational projects. I know that a lot of seniors across the province are certainly interested in intergenerational activities, and I say everybody will learn a lot from this session. And before I introduce today's presenters, I want to cover a few brief housekeeping items. If, of course, I can get my slides to change. Please mute your microphones to block out any outside noises. We were just talking about cats and dogs, so we don't want any animals today if we can avoid it. There's captioning at the bottom of the screen if anyone needs that. And we'd also like for you to put any questions or comments you might have during the presentation in the chat box. And there will definitely be time after the presentations to open the mics for more discussion. This session is being recorded, as you all know. And one thing I always ask people on the sessions, if you have any ideas for presentations that you would like us to do or to find speakers on any issues that are of interest, please let me know, and we will do what we can to make those come true for you. And I'm going to ask Barb to take a minute and do the land acknowledgement.
We respectfully acknowledge the land on which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk, whose culture has now been erased forever. We also acknowledge the island of Uttarhunduk as the unceded traditional territory of the Beothuk and the Mi'kmaq. And we acknowledge Labrador as the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Innu of Nitassinan and the Inuit of Nunavut and the Inuit of Nunavut. We recognize all First Peoples who were here before us, those who live with us now, and the 7 generations to come. As First Peoples have done since time immemorial, we strive to be responsible stewards of the land and to respect the cultures, ceremonies, and traditions of all who call it home. As we open our hearts and minds to the past, we commit ourselves to working in a spirit of truth and reconciliation to make a better future for all.
Thanks, Barbara.
You're welcome.
Old school intergenerational projects creates opportunities for generations to connect through the arts, promoting empathy and understanding. And programs are designed to support older adults living more fulfilled and enriched lives, and inviting young people to engage with their communities, with older people, and with the arts. Each generation benefits greatly from building relationships with one another. And the benefits of intergenerational programming are certainly undeniable, and unfortunately, they're not really plentiful in this province. The arts are creative, playful, and participatory. They allow for authentic connection between folks of all ages. It's an opportunity for you to share some of the intergenerational activities that you take part in, I hope, and get some ideas for new ones that you or your community could do themselves. And I am pleased now to present our speakers. Claire Rouleau is co-founder and artistic director of Old School Intergenerational Projects. She's an artist, educator, and performer, passionate about engagement through the arts. And Claire holds a BA in Child and Youth Studies from Brock University and a diploma in music theater performance from Sheridan College. She has had the opportunity to perform professionally from one end of the country to the other, finding a home in St. John's. And Claire currently occupies the position of Creative and Performing Arts Program Lead at Max Arts athletics, and wellness. She's co-founder and artistic director of Old School Intergenerational Projects. And she's an artist, educator, and performer, passionate about engagement through the arts. Claire holds a BA in, yes, I already said that, sorry. And she has had the opportunity to perform professionally from one end of the country to the other. Our second speaker is Erin Winsor, and Erin is Executive Director of Old School Intergenerational Projects. After 2 years as a child and youth care worker with Key Assets, Erin now is working as a part-time admin assistant for Newfoundland and Labrador Housing and Homelessness Network. She recently completed her Executive Office Administration Diploma at the College of the North Atlantic, and she's also a graduate of Sheridan College Music Theatre Performance Program. Erin has remained active in Newfoundland theatre since graduating in 2013. She's worked with companies such as Rising Tide Theatre and Spirit of Newfoundland, and is well known for her portrayal of Mary Poppins with Theatre St. John's and Epidine in Atlantic Light's production of Les Miserables. Erin has organized, hosted, and performed in 2 fundraisers for the Singing Legionnaires and worked at Kenny's Pond Retirement Residence as a dance fitness instructor to help keep students active and involved. Erin has the rare skill of building a special rapport with older adults and children. Her hope is to continue to bring her love of the arts into their lives to build creativity and maintain happiness. Beautiful. And we're going to hear now from Claire and Erin about the fun projects that they are involved in. And once again, as we move along, please put any questions or comments in the chat box and we will go through them at the end of the presentation. Thank you very much. Claire and Erin, you're up.
Thanks, Mary. Thank you. We'll just shift over to share our screen with you now. All right, share screen. All right, it's not popping up here yet to share. Of course, it worked earlier when we tried it. Now it's not working.
That happens a lot.
Right.
Everything is going smoothly until we try something that we already tried a few minutes ago.
Yeah. We might need permission to share screen. Is that? Yeah. Or Barb, could you temporarily make us the host? So we
could very well be.
Yeah.
One participant could share at a time.
Yeah, Mary, if you make Erin and the other lady host, they'll be able to share their screen. Is your host?
Okay.
Or even co-host, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah.
Okay, try it again.
Nope.
Sherry, I'm putting you on as host.
Okay. Okay, it says Sherry Cook is the host now.
Yeah. Sherry?
That's what it says. Just popped up. All right. Still not coming up here.
Sherry, can you make them a
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
that looks promising.
Oh my gosh, it's still not popping up. Oh my goodness. What's happening?
Erin's co-host.
Oh, do a multiple. There you go. Maybe that'll do it.
Oh my goodness. Didn't I call it, Mary? I said technology
Sometimes
work for me.
sometimes if you refresh your screen or leave the meeting and then come back, that'll kind of clue it in.
All right, let me leave the meeting and come back and see if that works. Sorry, folks.
Sherry, are you still trying to?
Let's try again. Okay.
Should be good.
Shift.
Eureka!
Woohoo!
Hey,
Thank you, Sherry.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All
Mary,
right.
I'm gonna make you host again now, Mary.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay, way hey and away we go. Super. Thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to get the chance to share some of what we've been working on and hopefully get some of your invaluable feedback as we continue to grow our programming and all the things we're trying to accomplish here in the province. I'm Claire.
And I'm Erin.
Erin and I met at Sheridan College in Ontario. We were both studying music theater and loved that, loved performing. But in each of our professional careers subsequently, we kind of found ourselves veering more towards work that was enriching beyond entertainment. And my background specifically related to my role as artistic programming director at Old School is having discovered a love of teaching and arts education at the Young People's Theatre in Toronto. I spent 2 years there as a resident artist educator, doing theater workshops with all kinds of demographics around Toronto and surrounding areas. And I subsequently shadowed the director of education at the Stratford Theatre Festival, where I learned a lot as well from the way that they operate and engage folks in Shakespeare in today's world. And all of those things contribute to the work that I do now for Old School specifically. I'm no longer with Max. Erin and I are so on the go that what we do changes on a dime. I work with Key Assets now as a child and youth care worker. So that's what takes up the majority of my days, and all the time in and around that is filled up with Old School.
Yes. And as I said, I'm Erin Winsor, and I'm born and raised St. John's and have been part of many musical theater productions here in the city and in the province, Rising Tide and Spirit Newfoundland. I've been back and forth to Newfoundland over the years, but I moved back here permanently in 2018 after living in Northern Ireland for a year and backpacking Europe, which was very eye-opening and helped me discover kind of what I wanted to do. So when I came back, I worked as a child and youth care with Key Assets, which Claire's now doing. And then I worked as a home care worker for a lady with Alzheimer's disease. And then I graduated from my executive administration diploma at Kona, and I started working at Newfoundland Labrador Housing and Homelessness Network. And since then, I have started working part-time as the music coordinator at Chancellor Park Long-Term Care Home. Now they would just call me the singer, because that's basically what I do. Is I go around and I sing with them, sing for them, and chat with them. And it is the most fun job I've ever had. And so when I'm not doing that, like Claire said, I'm using my administration skills to help run Old School. So working with older adults has always come quite easily to me. And I'm very grateful to have done it in different capacities, such as dance fitness instructor, working with the Legionnaires for fundraisers. And I've actually completed multiple courses to educate myself further on dementia. And how the arts can benefit people with dementia. So it's very important to me that we break down stereotypes of aging and help everybody live a more positive, healthy life and have a great aging experience. Yeah. So As we said, both of us have a background in musical theater. So what inspires us is multiple things. Of course, for me, music is very specifically inspiring, which is why I love my job so much. But also, it's brought me together with so many amazing people. Like I mentioned, the Singing Legionnaires are a wonderful group of men who I'm so proud to call my friends. One of them just turned 100 the other day, and I went to his birthday party, and it was so beautiful and wonderful. And I got to see them all for the first time in quite some time because of COVID. And not many 30-year-olds have the same taste of music as a 100-year-old. So if it wasn't for music, I wouldn't have those amazing people in my life. So music is certainly one of the inspiring things for me.
Mm-hmm. I've always been inspired by a love of old things, all things vintage and retro. Letter writing has always been a passion, kind of an old-fashioned way to stay connected to friends in my personal life. And we've carried that over largely into old school as well through our pen pal program. We often say that we like to honor tradition and is it?
Yeah, honor tradition and embrace innovation.
There you go. Honor and embrace. So taking something that might be considered a bit old-fashioned and renewing it in a way that's meaningful. So that's something that really inspires a lot of what we do, how we use resources, and the kinds of programming that we're envisioning.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that is inspiring to me is my grandparents. I was very lucky to grow up with 4 wonderful grandparents, and even got to meet some of my great grandparents and amazing great aunts and uncles and all of those things. When I was 15 years old, my grandfather was diagnosed with dementia with Lewy bodies, which was a big change for me. It was the first time I'd ever heard of dementia. It actually sparked an interest in me at the age of 15, and I started doing research back then. And I wasn't built to be a nurse or a doctor. That is not my skill set. So I knew that there was more to be done than just healthcare specifically. So in recent years, I've learned how arts can play such a significant role in the lives of people with dementia and people who don't have dementia. So I've made it my own goal to use my own set of skills to make a healthier living environment for those with dementia.
As a nonprofit, we're very inspired by a lot of the programming that takes place across the pond in the UK, in Scotland, in England. They are so far ahead of us here in Canada in terms of the kind of arts programming that is built into the way that aging processes unfold, the way that they integrated theater in the lives of older people, the way that they integrate the arts into care is just incredible. And so we're very inspired by what they're doing, and it certainly gives us some motivation to catch up and bring some of those facets into our situation here in Canada and in Newfoundland.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, we are both very inspired by this beautiful place we call home. Claire is a come from away, but is very much a Newfoundlander in heart and soul. And Newfoundland is very much built on storytelling and music making. And the history is absolutely incredible. So we want to be able to tell the stories of people, hear the stories of people here in Newfoundland, and also be able to help tell their stories and let younger people learn from these amazing journeys that people have had.
Awesome. Enough about us, what we're up to. Old School's mission, as Mary iterated, is very simple. At the root of it, it's to create opportunities for generations to connect through the arts. We are a community nonprofit and a registered charity. We started our inaugural project as individual artists in 2018 and decided to incorporate as a nonprofit in 2020, as that inaugural project only affirmed the need for intergenerational arts programming here in the province. And so we kind of decided to commit ourselves to really doing that as effectively as we could. And this past February, we were granted charitable status, which we hope will only expand the scope of the work that we're able to do.
Mhm. So as a charity, our purpose is to relieve conditions attributable to being aged, including social isolation and other mental physical conditions, by providing intergenerational programs that foster interactions between seniors and young people in schools, community, by doing arts workshops, pen pal projects, performances. And in addition, Old School strives to advance the public's appreciation of and accessibility to the arts by providing high quality professional performances in public spaces, seniors' homes, churches, community centers, and educational institutions. So, what is intergenerational programming? I'm sure many of you have a general idea of what it is, but we really like this quote that comes from the UK and Scotland. Generations working together in Glasgow defines intergenerational programming as social engagements and interactions, bringing together younger and older generations for a common purpose. They build on the strengths that different generations have to offer, nurture understanding and mutual respect, and challenge ageism.
Why does it matter? As we attest in every grant that we write, every proposal that we undertake, there are a number of factors that make this work so important and pressing now. One of those factors is that family models have changed. It's no longer fair to assume that the nuclear family is the go-to model for family structures. It's also not fair to assume anymore that families, extended families, live within geographical proximity to one another. So not every young person has the opportunity to grow up with the influence of an older adult in their life, and not every older adult gets to have the light and love and engagement with a young person from potentially extended family members. It doesn't surprise any of us that young people are facing interpersonal challenges due to the role of technology in their lives. Social connections are a real difficulty that young people are encountering, and forging relationships with elders and people outside of their immediate scope of experience can just prove to be so enlightening and invaluable to them, and it really builds their capacity for empathy and confidence in their own communication skills. Older adults are often isolated. We've never seen this more than during the pandemic. We consider that a real failure of our societies and our communities, that so many people are not involved in the communities in meaningful ways as they really should be. And existing arts offerings, as Mary alluded to, are very rare if they're intergenerational. We have not found that much of that exists in the province, sadly. They're often either arts programs for kiddos or more rarely arts programs specifically for seniors, and there's not enough togetherness. There's not enough offerings for people to come together and create. And lastly, our population is aging, as we all know, and the government acknowledges as well that we need much greater social support for the mental and physical health of seniors in the province.
So why the arts? The arts are inclusive. Many forms of art are used as therapy for different demographics of people, young people and older people. Being involved in the arts gives people an opportunity to create, participate, and contribute. The arts are also a capsule through which memories, stories, experiences are captured and preserved. I'm sure all of you have heard a song and it's triggered a memory or experience or story. So that's just a very simple example of how powerful the arts can be, about reflecting life experiences and creating shared understanding and evoking specific emotions. Theater, music, dance, visual art, writing, and many other creative arts, as we employ them through Old School, are not passive but participatory. Our programs are intergenerational instead of individual, and this leads to further benefits for everybody involved.
All right.
So speaking to those benefits,
We've put together some examples from our programming that speak and illustrate the benefits of this kind of programming. And we're excited to share these with you. So intergenerational arts programs increase confidence and self-esteem and validates each participant's experiences. A long-term care resident who participated in our pen pal project shared that letter writing with students restored the confidence of her former career as a teacher and validated the experiences and wisdom she had to share with her pen pals. She said it was refreshing to be seen and heard as a fully fledged individual and not only as a patient in a long-term care home.
Intergenerational arts programming can actually lead to an improvement in school performance and engagement for young people. One of the teachers we worked with shared the quote here above, and it speaks to the social emotional learning taking place through this kind of programming. In our most recent Pen Pal project, teachers expressed once more that engaging with older adults brings out the very best in every student.
Mm-hmm. In this next photo of one of our in-class sessions with students exploring aging, we are able to use intergenerational arts programmings to engage a variety of learning styles as well, which can improve content retention and relatability. So physical learners really benefit from improv and movement, while visual learners benefit from tableau, video presentation, etc. Sorry, that's okay. We're moving on. Oh, it's me again.
Yeah.
Intergenerational arts programming improves mental health as well as physical health, such as coordination, joint mobility, breathing control, etc. In arts workshops towards the development of a new show that we've been delivering, one of our participants, Edwin, said that what we're doing by mining for memories and brainstorming together was keeping minds active. And we thought it was just so astute that he was like, what you're doing helps us in this way. And the next slide, Edwin has also taught us some awesome dance moves when we've done other programming. He's a great participant. Anytime we do anything, he's so keen to be there with us. And the gals in the photo here as well also participated in the arts workshops that we've been doing. And through those workshops, what we're doing is collecting sense memories related to the sea towards the creation of a performance that we'll speak to coming up here in a moment. So you can see in the photograph, there's photographs that we printed related to the ocean. So it might be a picture of a campfire or a picture of rocks or a picture of a rubber boot. And we had, at one point in the workshop, we have participants choose one that spoke to them and share a memory or an image or a scent that it evoked.
Excuse me, intergenerational arts actually increases participation in other daily activities. For example, a participant who was in our Pen Pal project, she only left her room on the days that we were there to facilitate. And recreation coordinators shared that this actually led to her being more engaged in the community and with her peers at the home that she was living in. One of our students from our Pen Pal project, Sam, who is in the picture here with us, he is actually one of our honorary board members. He was very keen on what we were doing, and when we decided to incorporate, we asked him if he would be part of it as a great learning experience for him, because we see him going places for sure. It's great for him to kind of have that board knowledge, because he's going to do something amazing someday. But he was so keen that we were like, yes, we need you to be part of what we're doing. And here in this other photo, this is a picture of the Wisdom Circle participants at First Light. We did the sense memories with them as well. So that's their senior group there, First Light. And that was a very interesting experience for us as well. And we learned so much about what it was like for them. And we've created this beautiful piece. And some of the stories are based on what they told us. So
finally, this programming breaks down internal and external stigmas about aging and abilities. One of our friends, Lucy, was really impressed with the Pen Pal project and with the students she communicated with. And she doesn't beat around the bush. She said, in this day of computers, Pen Pals is quite unique. It was nice for the young people to meet an older person and not be frightened to death, which is really important.
Yeah,
we think.
Yeah. All right, so now we'll get to our projects, which I'm sure is what most of you want to hear about. So take it away, Claire.
Awesome. So we've our programming, we broke down today into arts learning opportunities that we offer and arts experiences that we offer. both are learning opportunities, but it's kind of a simpler way to separate programming and performances. So here we have a little picture to represent each of the programs that we have in the works. So up in the corner with our little embroidery hoop and our jam and our tools, this represents skill sharing workshops that will be coming up soon. This was funded by the Senior Social Inclusion Fund with the provincial government. And we're really excited to find some experts in the community. We've been in touch with a few of them so far who are going to share a skill that they have with folks from their own generation, from younger generations, from older generations. We have an older woman who is interested in sharing her crochet skills with members of the community. We have a young person who's interested in assisting with understanding social media, which I can even really appreciate and attest to. We don't know what we're doing half the time. So we're really excited to launch that series. There will be 5 of them. And we hope that it will just be an awesome opportunity for sharing and learning, and ideally in the same space, almost post-COVID. We'll see. We're sussing that out. Over on the other side of the slide, the picture of all those colorful folks represents our Creative Communities program. This one is funded by the New Horizons for Seniors program, as well as Come Home Year 2022. And what we're doing for this guy is we've been granted funding to visit 10 communities across the province. I think Happy Valley Goose Bay is one of them. We were very ambitious.
We were very ambitious. We don't know if we can afford it, but we're really hoping we can.
We're really hoping we can make it up there. And what we're going to do in those communities is hold an arts education training session for seniors or young people, adults, whoever is interested in taking on a leadership role in intergenerational arts programming in their communities. So the idea is that we can bring our expertise in theater or dance or music, whatever it may be, brainstorm some programming and some inclusion tools with those folks in the place that they live, and subsequently offer an opportunity to put that into practice through a community event. So it's kind of a 2-part program whereby we're doing training and skill building and best practice for inclusion, and the implementation of that programming with our support. And so we're hoping that by that program, we can start to build a network of intergenerational arts programming outside of the work that we're doing and all across the province, which we're really excited about. So that's going to be a bit of a road trip throughout this next year to those 10 different spots. Down below, our eyes and hand and nose and ear represent the senses. And this is our Reminiscence project. We've been able to carry this out with a group at Cambridge Estates. So for 6 weeks, we visited, and each week we used a different sensory prompt to collect memories, stories, reflections from the group. And then we took that knowledge that they shared with us and we passed it on to a grade 6 class, was it?
Yeah.
A grade 6 class through the Newfoundland School Board to enrich their social studies content and programming. And so there was able to be a little bit of back and forth in the kinds of explorations that we did. For example, one week when we did the touch as our sensory, we had this suitcase full of a lot of my old things that I love, my little treasures. And we had, again, folks pick out something that spoke to them or that evoked a memory. And we had them define what it was for, and then had the students do the same thing with a picture of that object. And it was really fun to see that sometimes they didn't know how to use a CD, or they weren't able to recognize a bathing cap. Things like that that are just no longer used in their lives, and to discuss how they were once used, the stories that evoked for folks was really fun. And we also did a week of hearing, which was based on sound and music. We explored scent one week, and it was really nice just to sit and have a chat and learn from those folks. And that's a program that we hope to offer what's available at any time, really. We like to do it for a 6-week chunk because then we can really get a good basis done. And finally, our paper and pencil there represents the Pen Pal project, which we've mentioned a lot already. It's our biggest one to date, and it's only growing all the time. The first year that we ran the Pen Pal program, it was between one seniors home and one grade 6 class. And we've now grown that to be 4 grade 6 classes and 4 seniors homes every time we run the project. And next year, we were planning to do 8. So it's great that it's growing all the time, and that we're able to increase our capacity that way. The way that program works is grade 6 classes, 2 or 3 folks in each class are matched with a senior pen pal. They write back and forth for 4 months while Erin and I deliver arts programming in the classroom with students to work on their communication skills, empathy with regards to mental and physical challenges of aging that they may encounter with their pen pal, as well as brainstorming how communities could be more integrative of all ages. And at the end of the 4 months, those pen pals get to meet and come together, which is really magical. And we just finished our most recent session, and it was lovely as ever, especially after COVID, for folks to be in the same place for the most part.
There's at the last one we had, it was just last Friday, and when the resident came in to meet her pen pals, she had a little gift for each of her pen pals, because there's about 3, usually 2 or 3 that write to one person usually. And as she was coming in with her walker, this little guy comes and he pulls out her chair so she could sit on it and pushes it in, and it was the sweetest thing ever. And we were like, this is why this is so magical.
sometimes the kids really blow us away,
Yeah,
with like empathetic capacities we've never seen from them in the classroom.
yeah,
when
because
they-
we
when
meet
they
them
meet
at
someone.
least 4 times, and sometimes they don't listen to us at all, and then they go in and they're completely engaged when they meet their pen pals, so it is quite amazing. So next we're going to speak to our arts experiences. So here in this little blue graphic with the instruments and the boots, that is our By the Sea show creation that we've spoke about. So it's not just a regular theater performance, it's a musical sensory theater experience. And it's designed for older adults whose mobility, language, or memory prevents them from engaging in traditional theater events. So show development was funded by New Horizons, and then we have taken that development and learned from seniors in the community, like some of the photos we had just shown. So now we are going to be starting taking bookings for that show, and it will be available for seniors, homes, communities, community groups, public performances, daycares, schools, whoever wants to see it. It is the most inclusive you can get. And then in the middle there, we have the young woman and the older man playing the piano. So that is a play that Claire and I wrote, and it is actually based on my own real life intergenerational friendship that was sparked by music. So it shows how powerful music can be to connect people, and shows similarities and differences of different generations. And this show was helped developed by local Peter McDonald, who, once we get the show up and running, he will be playing my older adult best friend. So we hope that through upcoming funding, we'll be able to offer this to homes soon.
In schools.
And schools. So it will be hopefully, again, offered to everybody. And we're going to accompany that, because the show is not as participatory as the C show. So we will offer a pre or post workshop for anybody who gets the show to their location. And we will talk about the themes of the show, such as intergenerational friendships and those kinds of things. Our last graphic there is our program called Telephone Tunes. So we started this at the beginning of the pandemic, when we were like, oh no, what are we going to do? Everybody's isolated. How are we going to engage people? So basically we had musical phone calls and chats from professional and community singers who volunteered their time to connect with community members who maybe just needed a little bit of joy, a little boost due to the isolation. And now we have a variety of volunteers, singers on our roster who are available at any time to do the telephone tunes. So we always have them available, and the only thing that we ask is for a donation of whoever requested a donation of their choice to facilitate that with our volunteers. And now we have our resource development. So you may or may not have heard that these two crazy 30-year-olds bought a school bus. That's us, we're crazy. And it is our largest resource. The bus is still being worked on at the moment. It has taken longer than we anticipated, obviously due to COVID. So this is no ordinary bus. This bus has been painted white. As you can see, this is the actual bus in the photo here. All of the seats have been taken out, and it will be retrofit on the inside into a programming space. So it will be a tool for us to travel all around the province, and we'll have our equipment handy to facilitate. We'll be able to do our performances, have all of our things within the bus. But don't get excited about going for a ride on the bus, because that is not what's going to happen. It's just going to be Claire and I in the bus, and when it's in movement. So we will be parked stationary, and that's when our programs will take place. So it's just a tool for us to get around easily and have all of our things together in one place. We'll have a variety of arts programming that takes place on the bus and around the bus outside in the summertime. And everyone is welcome. In fact, we even got our accessibility door put in a little while ago. So this regular school bus that was not accessible now has a big accessibility door on the side of the bus, which is very exciting. And the outside of the bus is paintable, so that'll be a fun activity in the summer too.
Yeah, lots of exciting things, possibilities with the bus.
Yeah.
We've also partnered with a local visual artist to create a memory matching game, except unlike most memory matching games where you're looking for an identical match, this one you're looking for a then and a now. So for example, if you're looking for, if the descriptor is heartthrob or famous singer, then and now, perhaps one match is Elvis and one match is Justin Bieber. So a then and a now together. And it served as a really great prompt for conversation when our pen pals meet one another. We've used it as well in the St. John's Pedestrian Mall last year for families coming through to play. And we hope to develop more resources like that that are, again, age friendly and spark conversation. Mm-hmm. So overall, what we offer is an arts-based approach to wellness and empathy among generations. We have expertise in theater, dance, music, and writing, and have some wonderful connections with folks as well who are experts in the arts avenues that Erin and I are not most proficient in. We're experienced facilitators. We're eager to support collaboration and programming around the island. Our very unique mobile programming space will be up and running soon. And we're really passionate about getting to do this kind of work. It brings us a lot of joy.
Mm-hmm. So some of our future goals, although Old School has been officially operating for a couple of years, COVID has certainly put a damper on our plans a little bit, but that hasn't stopped us from persevering through and working on all that we could. So now that you can see the kind of projects we have in the mix, we wanted to share with you how we intend to keep that up and what is needed in the province. So we'll continue to build inclusive programs to meet the needs of the aging population. We want to ensure that we engage as many seniors as possible within the province and young people, but we do know that the isolation is more specific for seniors. We'll continue to offer professional, accessible performance to all places across the province, empower leaders of all ages across the province to keep seniors engaged in their communities, as well as young people. We plan to implement intergenerational arts programming into as many seniors' homes, schools, healthcare systems across the province as we can, because it really is a mental health tool. Excuse me. And we will continue to partner with government, community groups, businesses, and individuals to create sustainable means to connect generations.
Mm-hmm. This next slide is just a list of some of the folks we've been really privileged to work with thus far, and it's an ever-growing list that we hope to continue to expand. I know we're running out of time there. We got started a little late with our
Technical difficulties,
yes,
of course.
yes, but we would love to take any questions that you have for us before we wrap up. We have some questions for you that Mary has very kindly agreed to pass on after the presentation. But if there's anything that that you would love to throw at us or offer us, we're very happy.
Noreen here in Labrador. I can't wait for when you're coming to visit me.
Right? We're really hoping we'll be able to make it happen.
Absolutely. Hi, Noreen. I know Noreen from NL Housing and Homelessness Network.
Yeah. I love the idea. Fun. I love fun. And I love seeing the connection of our younger people with our seniors and having fun while doing it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great.
And Noreen can certainly get a lot of people up there involved. She's great for that.
And we have a large seniors club here, over 250 members.
Is that right?
Giddy up, we're coming.
Tell Maine Louise.
Exactly.
Mary or say Erin and Julia. Also, Julia Mayo says she would love to partner with you guys for at the Newfoundland Public Libraries.
That would be wonderful.
We would also love that.
Yeah.
We'll reach out to you, Julia.
Yeah.
And Susan Pascal, she said she loved to chat about summer programming, Erin and Julia, for the Anglican homes here. She said, please call or email.
Absolutely. Susan?
I get Susan's email address to you.
Oh, thank you, Mary.
I have Susan's. We did our mental health first aid for seniors together, actually.
Good. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everything sounds so interesting and it really sounds like fun.
It does really a lot of fun.
That is really great. Yeah. Do you want to stop sharing your screen now, or anybody else have any questions or comments?
While you're getting ready to share, I think this is a really beneficial time as I've been dive deep into the health accord. I've been part of it. Again, it's part of the recommendation of the intergenerational piece and how important that is. So I think wonderful timing.
Thank you. Great.
Elaine Dunphy says that she would love to talk collaboration about integrating her programs with you too. I'm going to connect you as well. Elaine, I will do that as soon as we finished here today. And that way, we could all start talking.
Absolutely.
Fabulous.
It was a fabulous presentation, and it's so good to see you guys doing so much positive things with really not a lot of resources.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julia.
Yes.
It gives me hope for the public libraries. We've been doing that for years.
That's right.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
That means a lot.
But yeah, we'd love to do something with you here in St. John's, or even, maybe some sort of, I don't know, virtual, I don't know. We could think about what we have as a resource and see how it could help promote what you guys are doing.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Fabulous. Yep.
Wonderful. I love the library.
Anybody else?
We welcome things that come to mind that perhaps we haven't.
Yeah.
Or
That was great. That was really wonderful.
Thank
I'm
you.
just going to put my screen back now for a few minutes here. I don't know why mine works without any trouble. That's amazing.
You're special, Mary.
Yeah, we always offer certificates of participation if anyone needs one for their employment or post-secondary reasons. And what else do we have? and be a friend. We have started a new, well, some time ago now, we started Friends of Seniors NL. And basically what we do with that, the friends aren't expected to know everything, but they can certainly hand out business cards so that other people can, if they're stuck for information, we're all about information and referral, okay? If something comes up, if there's anything anybody is thinking about and they don't know or don't even know if it exists, any kind of service or program that they're looking for, they could just phone us. And if we don't have the information at our fingertips, we'll find out. But anyway, to be a friend, we send you business cards with your name on it and our contact information on the back. So you can just say, here, phone these people and they will help you. So June is Seniors Month and June starts tomorrow. So we're going to be having sessions around, there's going to be several sessions on elder abuse. June 15th is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. Okay, and so coming up, well, we have several sessions coming up actually. June 7th, that is next Tuesday, we'll be talking about views on the treatment of older adults, and that was a research project by a couple of people who some of us know, and they will be talking about their research. And then on June 15th itself, on World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, we're going to have Henry Kiley from the Department of Children, Seniors, and Social Development. And Henry does a fantastic presentation on ageism. Okay, because we really believe that ageism is probably the underlying factor for all elder abuse. And we'll also have a presentation on the Adult Protection Act, among other presentations. So that is about it. If anybody, once again, if anybody has any ideas that you would like us to pursue for our Tuesday morning sessions, please let me know. And thanks so much, everyone. And thank you, Erin and Claire. That was fabulous.
Our pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
And I will send the emails and everything that I was going to. So thank you.
Great.
Thanks, everybody, and hope to see most of you next Tuesday. Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.